What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I am back with another Out of the Theater review. Now, I went to the Regal Mystery Monday movie, and this week, actually, I called it. I guessed what it was going to be, but 2.5 weeks early, movie comes out August the 11th, and the movie is Gran Turismo. Now, Gran Turismo, of course, a video game, a PlayStation game, and one that's been around since PlayStation 1. I think, I remember this game from when I was a kid, pretty much. I never was really big into Gran Turismo. I've played it, but I've never was super into it. I always thought it was too hard, and I don't like that kind of racing. But either way, wasn't that excited for this movie. And I did see that it was directed by Neil Blomkamp, which that was the part on the trailer that caught me off guard, because he does like sci-fi movies. Usually he's known for, District 9, Elysium, Chappie, those kind of sci-fi movies. And so he did not write this. I don't know if this is the first movie he's directing that he didn't have any writing duties on, but purely directed. And it has David Harbour. You got Orlando Bloom. You got Jaimin Hunsu. Ginger Spice. She's in this movie as the mom. And so I went in and said, you know what? Let's see what this movie has to offer. Positives. I like this movie. It was good. It caught me off guard for sure. It starts off and it's very video gamey. So I think the first act especially will really speak more to big Gran Turismo fans. If you're a big fan of the game, I think you will get a kick out of the first act of the movie a lot. It has a lot to do with the game itself. This is based on a true story. And at the end of the movie, they do show a lot of photos and images and all this kind of stuff of the actual guy. But, you get all that kind of behind the scenes stuff with racing and all that kind of stuff. Now, the first act was just okay for me. I was like, it's just okay. I don't know how I feel about it so far. But I did like David Harbour, and I actually liked Orlando Bloom a lot in this too. I thought he was really good. The main kid, I wasn't crazy with his acting. I think he was okay. He got better as the movie went on. I liked him more. But in the first act, just okay. But this movie has some tricks up its sleeve, because even though the first act is pretty much just a big time commercial for Gran Turismo, this was a Columbia movie, or Sony. Sony's the one who made it. So obviously Sony makes PlayStation. This is like a PlayStation advertisement for the first 30 minutes. Once it got past that, and especially in the second act, then it started slowly kind of dropping the super video gamey stuff and just became a really solid sports movie. I love sports movies. I love underdog movies. And I do like racing movies, like Ford v Ferrari recently. This has Le Mans in it, which is the same race from that movie. So I kind of felt that towards the end. But yeah, this kind of falls in that sports underdog type of story. So I'm a sucker for those. So once it got into that, I was kind of into it. I was like, okay, this movie's pretty good. Then at the end of the second act, something happens. This is, of course, spoiler free. Something happens that really I did not see coming. And I was like, wow, okay. And it added a lot of drama to the story. That the third act, I think, is super strong in this movie. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed the third act. There is some good character stuff, some good dramatic moments. You have the racing is really good. Neil Blomkamp, he directed the heck out of this movie. Honestly, the racing scenes look great. You could clearly see he used drones for some of the stuff, but it looks so cool. When you got the cars coming this way and the camera flying this way and then following them and doing he really, really did his thing, I think, directing wise. There's a few things I could have done without it, I'll say, for the negatives, but I think on the whole, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. Honestly, I was like, there's no way this movie's going to be good. The trailer looked whatever to me. And then I walked out of it and I was like, I like this movie. The theater I was in was packed and they cheered and clapped 3 or 4 different times. So I think it may play pretty well for audiences. I think people might enjoy it. As far as my negatives, yeah, too much PlayStation and Nissan, which, by the way, I always thought it was Nissan, and Orlando Bloom says it like Nissan in this movie. And I don't know what's the right way now. Too much Nissan love, too much Gran Turismo. We get it, it's a video game, but they're like, this is the greatest game of all time. There's never been a game like Gran Turismo. And maybe there hasn't, I don't know, but it just seemed like a commercial. So some of that got a little annoying. Thankfully, they drop it as the movie goes along. Also, there were a few of the way they shoot the racing. There was a few moments where it got video gamey, where you'd have the lines on the floor, or the things would pop up. I didn't mind the thing that would pop up at certain points. But some of the other stuff I could have done without. Thankfully, again, as the movie goes on, those sort of fall away. Other than that, though, I mean, those are kind of my negatives. A little too. Also, it's kind of basic on a story level. This is not reinventing the wheel. This is a story that's been told in so many films, But I think it always matters on the execution, and I think the execution was really good here. I was invested in it. I ended up really liking this guy, the main character. I ended up being invested in his family stuff. You have the father-son thing where the dad doesn't understand, and you've seen it before, but Jaemin Hunsu plays the father, and he's such a good actor. So there was one or two scenes where I was like, man, this is really, really good. So I thought it was a really good movie. I'm surprised. I don't know if it has a chance to be sort of like a late summer hit. I hope it does. I hope people go see it. It's entertaining. It has a good soundtrack, and they use it like in a funny way. You got like Kenny G in here. You got Black Sabbath. You get Enya. And the way they use these songs really is, I thought it was really good. So I enjoyed the film. I thought it was fun. It doesn't reinvent the wheel. It's not going to be something you've never seen before, but it's going to do stuff you've seen in a cool way. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Sleeper. I hope it's a sleeper hit because I thought it was a really fun movie and I liked it. So, of course, if you're looking forward to this movie, please let me know in the comments down below. Are you looking forward to Gran Turismo, or is it something you don't even care about, really? Please leave a like on the video. Give me a thumbs up. That way, it helps the video do better. And, of course, if you would consider subscribing to the channel, click that bell icon. That way you get notified every time we drop new videos. And I will be back next week with another Out of the Theater review. Until then, take it easy.